Hey guys, welcome back. This is FAQ 21, and this one I'm going to keep kind of special. And with the summer coming in Japan, that's time for ghost stories and monster stories and any kind of scary story, because they believe that during the summer when you tell scary stories, it actually chills you to the bone and can help you get through those long, brutal, humid summers that Japan has. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the ghost spirits, obake, yokai, and monsters of Japan. My first ghost story that I'm going to tell you about is called Sarayashiki, and it takes place in Himeji actually. And what it concerns is the tale of a young maid whose name was Okiku. And Okiku was one day taking care of her master's kitchen and dining area, and during one point when she was cleaning the dishes, she dropped one of his plates and broke it. And it was a special imported Korean plate that was very expensive, and the master was so angry he took her and threw her down a well. And it's said that today her ghost rises up from that well and can be seen in the kitchen or heard in the kitchen counting plates over and over again, and it always stops when it reaches 9, because there used to be 10 plates, and when she reaches 9 you just hear a woman crying about the plate that she broke. And I've actually visited that well and have a picture in front of it. I'll show it to you here in just a second, and that was in Himeji. Our next story is one of my favorite Japanese ghost stories, and it deals with a woman called Oiwa. And it starts with a husband who is going through troubled times with making money and taking care of his children and his sick wife. And he ends up getting frustrated with the whole situation and decides to poison his wife. And he poisons her, and during the process of dying, she becomes horribly disfigured and suffers a lot of agony while dying. And her visage is just completely, absolutely horrifying by the time she dies. Afterwards, the man goes out and he marries a new woman and talks to her father about getting married, and he wishes them the best, and they're very happy. And on the day that they're getting married, he sees what he thinks is the ghost of his ex-wife with the horribly twisted face, and he attacks her, kills her, and then realizes he's just killed his new wife. And panicking, he runs away to try and tell the father what he's just done. But when he gets there, he's greeted by Oiwa again with the same disfigured, disgusting face, and he tries to kill her again, but it turns out to be the father. So from then on out, he constantly is running and trying to get away from what he thinks is Oiwa following him everywhere. Along the way, people he meets actually becomes Oiwa to his vision, and he murders them as well too, and he's actually driven mad by the ghost of Oiwa taking over the bodies of the different people he meets, and he's not put out of his agony until finally the brother of Oiwa finds him and kills him for murdering his sister. So it's a pretty creepy story and has a pretty creepy picture that goes with it. Some of the obake, or monsters, or as obake literally translates, something that changes, are really interesting in Japan's history and scary stories. One of my most favorite is the Rokurokubi, and it's pretty much a woman slash monster whose neck can extend great lengths, and usually they come out at night. They appear to be just normal women, but they come out at night, and at that time they extend their long necks and usually make fools of people who are drunkards or generally doing bad things at night. Sometimes they rape men, and other times they just cause general havoc. Some people are actually rokurokubi and don't even know it, and they're said to report having dreams of being able to see their own body in strange angles throughout the night while they sleep, because their head actually extends throughout the night and they don't even realize it. So, really interesting creature that the Japanese have is the rokurokubi. Another one of my most favorite sort of haunts of Japanese lore are the Kuchisake Onna, which means the split-mouth woman. And it's a pretty creepy story of a woman, and the story kind of varies from place to place and person to person, but pretty much a woman who is in a horrible car accident or some kind of accident in which her mouth gets cut here and here all the way up to almost her ears, and from it she's horribly deformed and can open up her mouth and show everything inside. But to hide it, she wears the medical mask like I wore in one of my FAQs. When she meets you, she'll ask, "Am I pretty?" And at this time she'll be wearing the medical mask. And you can say, "Yes, I think you're pretty," or maybe not. But after she's asked you, she'll take it off and show you how horribly deformed her face is, and then ask one more time, "Am I pretty?" And at that point she'll kill you. Supposedly the way the story goes is if you say, "Yes, you're beautiful," then she'll just follow you to your apartment and kill you, or your house and kill you. If you say no, she'll kill you right there. If you panic, she'll kill you right there. But the way you're supposed to be able to confuse her or subdue her is by saying, "You're so-so, you're average looking." Or by asking, "Am I beautiful?" It confuses her and gives you time to run away. So that's the Kuchisake Onna, one of my favorite. Another creepy story, and sadly, this comes from actual real life, is the story of coin locker babies. And a coin locker is pretty much a locker at a subway station or sometimes other places that you can rent pretty much for a few coins. You put the coins in and that opens up the locker. You can put your stuff inside, close it, it'll lock, and you can't get it out again until you come back with a key and money to get your stuff back out of the locker. And sadly, some irresponsible or neglectful mothers have actually put babies inside these lockers before and just abandoned them, like the same way you would hear about women abandoning babies in dumpsters in Western countries. And instead in Japan it's usually these coin lockers. And supposedly some of these lockers are now haunted by the ghost of those babies, which is really pretty creepy when you think about it. And there's actually a really good Japanese horror movie about coin locker babies, and there's a book written about them called Coin Locker Baby. So you should check that out more if you are interested. That's it for Japanese ghost stories. I hope you enjoyed some of those. If you're still interested in more, most of my sources come from the Hyaku Monogatari, which was in pretty old ghost story book, illustrated by one of my favorite Japanese artists, Takehara Shunsen, and you can check out more of that online if you want to, or just look up some of the stories online if you want to too. Some of the things you might want to enter in are yokai, tengu, or obake or bakemono, and those are all different types and names of ghosts and monsters throughout Japan's history of ghost stories. And I'll see you next time on Frequently Asked Questions.